let me just start by saying thank you all for gathering to celebrate the life of Felicia Miracolo, our dear friend who unfortunately left us too soon. I know Felicia, like most of you, way back when she had Tommy T. And probably my more fondest memories of her are Chilloween, Santa Paul, you know, Chihuahua takes over Central Park. Felicia will come up with the most creative costumes, and then I will ask her, "Oh my God, that is so amazing! How did you do that?" She goes, "Oh, just something that I pop up in a couple of days." And you know,
yeah,
and,
I remember that.
you know, and she will come up with these incredible ideas and amazing costumes and designs, and she never took credit, let's say, for the imagination and the creativity that she had.
He was
right?
humble.
She was very humble. I remember when she lost Tommy T, and she was very devastated when she lost him, and she thought she will never have another dog again. And I remember when she got Nathan, she pops up with Nathan from nowhere to me. But you know, she had her glows back in the eyes. You know, I will always fight with her because she loves giving pizza to Nathan. and I will always argue with her. I would tell her, "Do not give pizza. You know, the flour is no good, the sauce is no good." And she would be like, "Oh, he loves it. It's just a little. There's no harm. You know, it's just a little. There's nothing." So when the pizza rat happened, I would tease her that people thought that Nathan was a rat stealing the pizza. That I was actually Nathan on the subway stealing pizza, and I wasn't.
Funny.
You know, because you know how people think that Chihuahuas are rat, and we will just laugh about it. We all know that she was very supportive. She was very supportive of me and all of her friends. She was especially caring for Elaine. And Elaine asked me to read this for her. I miss you a lot. You were a good friend and a good person and a good doggy mom. They had a special relationship. Let's just leave it like that. But we all know that Felicia loved dogs, especially the Chihuahuas. Tommy T and Nathan were both Chihuahuas. And because of that, I am going to kind of tell a story about the Chihuahuas, a little bit of history of the Chihuahuas, okay? We know that the Chihuahuas are unclear where they come from, but it is believed that they come from the Techichi origins, which some people think is from the Aztec civilization. It probably way back to the Maya civilization. The only thing that we know is that it's one of the oldest breed, if not the oldest breed in the Americas. The Techichis were bred for religious ceremonies, for rituals, food, and companionship. To add to this, the Toltecs and the Aztecs believed that the Techichis possessed a number of supernatural powers. One of them was to see into the future. And because of this, they thought that their Chihuahuas will guide them in their deceased owner's underworld, which means that the dogs will help them on their passing to the other side. We all know how Felicia had Nathan next to her when that happens. So I like to believe that he helped her to do that transition as a true Chihuahua. Well, the others, well, they may all rest in peace. And if there is a doggy heaven, you know, then Trishna and Felicia are with all the Chihuahuas in the Rainbow Bridge. So I am going to ask Sophia that I asked her to read a poem for Felicia.
So this is a poem I found, and I thought it was fitting with Felicia's personality and the way I like to think of passing. It's called the Hopi Prayer. The Hopi was a Native American tribe. So the poem says, do not stand by my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints of snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn's rain. When you awaken in the morning hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine in the night. Do not stand by my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep.
Paul Nathan sent me something that he wanted me to read also. I just really wanted to express the impact that you had on my life. By giving me the opportunity to meet you, I include Tommy T in my book, who, from memory, I think was partially blind at the time. You really taught me about love and loyalty. I learned that you had called your new dog Nathan about a year after you had got him, and was amazed to realize that maybe I had also had some impact on your life too. I was truly honored and will never forget that gesture. Wishing you all my love, Paul. I also have Madeline to say something.
Yeah. So I didn't really prepare a speech because I just want to talk about my friendship with Felicia. Um, I was, I mean, we were friends in the sense that we always saw each other in a group setting. We were never that close that we would hang out outside of the group. However, every time I saw her, it was always very pleasant, and she was very fun to be with. We would joke around. We would talk about dogs. Sometimes we bitch about politics together. But if I had to use one word to describe Felicia, I would use the word nice. And this may seem like an insignificant word, but in today's world, I think nice is probably about the nicest thing you can say about a human being. I remember when Tommy T passed away. And like I said, our friendship, like, you know, we weren't the kind of friends who knew each other's secrets. So when Tommy T passed away, I wanted to do something for her. So what I did was I used to take a lot of pictures at meetups. So I digged out all the Tommy T pictures and I printed it and I put them into a photo album, like an actual photo album, and gave it to her. I remember she had tears in her eyes. She told me nobody had ever done something this nice to me in my entire life. I mean, that was, you know, I didn't believe that was true, but at the same time, that just goes to show how nice she was, because what she said was the nicest thing, was the nicest thank you that anybody had ever said to me. So I would always remember her as a nice person who always brought warmth and laughter into our friendship. And her passing was a huge impact to me, only because I guess I was lucky enough that I had never lost a friend in my life. She was the first friend I lost. So, you know, it's always hard, like being the first. And but I you know, I hope she rests in peace, and I hope in heaven somehow she would help us get rid of Trump. Why she's up there.
She would be laughing right now.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to join and say something?
Yeah, I am. I'm an old friend from, I live in California now. My name's Lisa Giboli. I don't really have a prepared speech because I didn't really know the format of this Zoom. And obviously, I was not able to be in New York at this time. I know Felicia. We started college together at Hunter College. And I always felt like I didn't have a sister. She didn't have a sister. But she was somehow like family. We both came from Italian families. We were both the first one to go to college like that. Speaking about the political stuff, I mean, at that time, our college, half the time people were protesting. So she and I were out there protesting too. And even we had, at the time, these crazy fur coats that were in, and I forgot the names, but we managed to, without even thinking about it, get very similar fur coats. So we gave them little names together like they were sisters. So we stayed in touch over the years. And I made many trips. I got to visit in October, actually, and see her. And we went to a play. And the last few years, or at least this year, I think was very, very hard on her. I know the doggy group was the most fun that she'd ever had. It just gave her a lot of pleasure, something to look forward to. She was so involved in it with the people and just loved every bit of it, and was not participating as much later on. I don't know all the details because obviously I live farther away, but we talked for long periods of time. We shared talks about our feelings and things like that. She was just, to me, just a wonderful, good-hearted person. I like to remember her as this bright, adventurous little bulb that was full of energy, full of fun, full of life. And I know at the very end, she was actually starting to feel better after a pretty long illness. So that she passed I'm still in shock. I'm still absolutely in shock. I feel like I should be able to, with Ruth Bader Ginsburg passing, the first person I want to call is Felicia, because we got certain things together. I mean, our birthdays were just a few days apart, so we were like these birthday twins. So there was a bond there, and I just feel forlorn. I feel lost. I feel it was way too soon for her to go. I feel like she had something more to be here, and I'm so glad that you guys are able to do this for her. And it's nice hearing how she was so loved, and I think that she was more loved than she even knew. And thank you all for doing this. It's wonderful to hear all these other stories.
Yeah. It's good to hear about Felicia's history through a close friend. It's nice to hear that. Thank you for joining us. And we send you a big hug from all of us to you.
Big hug back. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So, Leslie, you were saying something?
I didn't know, Ada, if you wanted me to repeat what I had written on the Facebook timeline. Most of you know me, and I was hoping my friend Debbie would be on this call, but I don't think I see her on the list of people. But a very good close friend of mine lived next door to Felicia, and so I knew both of them, and they both had exchanged house keys with each other. And Debbie had been trying to reach her for a couple of days, and just odd that she couldn't, there wasn't any return phone calls, and Nathan had actually been really quiet. And so she just had a strange feeling, so she called the police, and the police and Debbie went into her apartment together, and they saw her sitting on the couch, straight up, and Nathan was just right beside her. And I guess we're trying to figure out the timeline. And I think it was probably about 3 or 4 days that he had been sitting next to her. And thank God the police were such animal lovers, because Nathan would have been taken straight to ACC, which would have been horrible. But one of the police picked him up and he just handed him to my friend Debbie. And Debbie has a pit bull, so she took Nathan right to the other neighbor and said, "Can you please hold him for just a bit?" And they had to tape off the apartment because it's automatically a crime scene. So they still haven't been able to get back inside to see if Felicia had left any will or any instructions. But Nathan is right now, he's with one of the best couples. He couldn't be with a better couple. She's an architect and he works for Reuters. So as we all know how vet bills can just be astronomical, they are ready to provide anything for him. They already love him to death. They've now had him, I guess it's going on 2.5 weeks now, 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And they're spoiling him to death and trying to figure out what to feed him. So
Not pizza, please.
yeah, exactly. That's right. I'll make sure they know that. That's so cute. So there was about 10 people, I believe, at her Farmingdale service, which was great. Anyway, so please pray that he can stay where he is, because this is an absolutely wonderful couple that he's staying with. I don't want him to leave, though I love you to death, Lourdes, and I know you would also take him in a heartbeat. And I have relayed that to them and to Debbie, that there's so many wonderful women, and they know you, Ada. They know of you. So I've also invited them to the Chi-Chi Nation, all their events, and they're not ready right now, but down the line, they're definitely want to participate. So
That's
thank
great.
you all so much for coming. This is great.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Thank
Leslie,
you.
for the updates and to find out how Leslie. I mean, we were all wondering how it happened. So you
Yes.
cleared that to us, and it's good to know that Nathan is here for, and I'm praying that it works out too.
Oh, he is
Okay.
I'm
Good.
so happy for him.
Yes, me too, Lourdes.
Yeah, because that's something that I think is really important, that you know, especially if you live alone, that you
Yes.
need someone that you know you can trust, with your
Absolutely.
dog.
Yes, that's right.
I was talking to Leslie about probably creating a master list of some of us that, the ones that would like to join, like in case of an emergency, we will know what to do with the dogs, or, how to proceed on an emergency.
Her death can make this whole thing happen. That'll be fabulous. It'll be a really great thing.
Yeah. And I keep telling all of you, if you don't have anything set up right now, feel free to post my name and my number on your refrigerator as an emergency contact. I talk to all of you privately. You all can tell me, if this happened, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. You can always count with me. I'm in Florida right now, but I'm between Florida and New York. And if I have to go to New York, I do it in a blink of an eye, It's only 2 hours flight. It's not like I'm in
And I'm actually gonna volunteer to meet halfway, Ada. If anything happens to anyone's dog, I can help transport. Won't have to pay for airline or whatever.
I know, me too.
Thank you.
If anybody needs, in transportation, I'm between Pennsylvania and New York all the time. So I'm willing to, to travel and drive.
Yeah.
Well, You know,
You can also count on me. I'm in New Jersey, 1 hour away, but you know, I'm accessible to go and do whatever is needed.
Yeah, because we
Thank
could
you.
actually pass them on, you know, just keep passing until it gets to the destination.
And I just wanted to add that I think the list, the master list is great. But what my husband and I used to do when we were living in New York was in the back of our driver's license, we actually wrote a little piece of paper and taped to it with Ada's basically contact information. It's just like a little note saying like, you know, anything happened to us.
Good.
We have 2 dogs. Please contact Ada Nieves and then her phone number. We haven't done that.
That's a very good idea to have back of the privacy. That's a really good idea.
You know, I mean, in an emergency, that's the first thing they're going to look at is your
exactly. You know, I have one in my wallet. I don't know what the hell happened to when I guess my wallets I might not have replaced, but I need to put it back. And you told me before and I forgot. I got to do it now. I'm gonna give myself a note because I'll forget again.
It's important. I keep it in my wallet that I have dogs and to contact people in case of anything happens to me, if I go to a hospital or whatever. Because I live alone and I'm scared. I don't know. Anything can.
Well, Fern, you can put my name in there too, you know. I mean, you know, I mean, I love all your dogs. I always joke, and you always know how I joke that all your dogs are mine. But I really, you know, I really take it to the heart, and I mean it. Well, let's continue with Felicia's. Anyone else would like to say something?
Yeah, probably I should speak next because this Ray, I'm gonna be like a mess at the end. I'm not going to be able to talk.
Okay.
So this saying, I don't have anything prepared, but I'm gonna talk from my heart.
Yeah.
So I met Felicia at the New York Chihuahua Club, like back in 2008. And she's one of the persons that really give me such a warm welcome because I didn't know anybody. Actually, there were a few that I will never forget because it is because of them that I really got so attached to all of you as a community. And I love you all. But Felicia really left a fingerprint in my life because every time I met her, she was very warm and she was always there. Like one of the characteristics that I noticed about her is that she was always present in your conversation. She never forgot about your issues. And we say goodbye and we were able to pick up 2 months later and the conversation was present. She was able to follow your life just like that, which is a characteristic that not everybody has. And that is something of a person who really cares about people when they are there listening to you in those short moments that we have to meet each other, because, you know, we don't interact on a daily basis. But, you know, we see each other, we talk, and then we go on with our life. But Felicia was able to retain some of you along with her, which is really like a human trait that is priceless. And so, you know, the years went by and I felt like she was always in my life because there was never an interruption of my life when every time we talked to her, we were able to pick up where we left before. And that was so remarkable of her. And because of that, I will never forget her. And I always felt so warm every time I went to a place and I saw her. She was like a sister to me. I felt so close to her with her life and everything. And it was a warmth that was so innate on her that is just touching, and it will be with me forever. So I'm gonna miss her. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Ninoshka. Thank you. Wish I could hug you right now.
I'm like an emotional fool. But yeah, people touch me, and this was like a big shock for me because I was not expecting to lose her so soon. She looks like great. I didn't know she had a condition or anything, so this was a shocker, a big one. So yeah, so from now on, you know, I go into places, and to know that she's not gonna be there, it's gonna be hard.
Thank you, Ninoshka. Who's next? Anyone want to say? Erica? Okay.
Yes, I'll say that I met Felicia in 2010 when I got my first Chihuahua. I was at Washington Square Park. There was an adoption event, and Felicia came over to me and introduced herself. She was so nice and so kind, and she invited me to the Chihuahua meetup, and she told me about Elaine's meetup, and I wouldn't have met any of the people that I met if I hadn't met Felicia that day. And she came over and met my dogs. And whenever my dog had surgery or anything, she'd come and bring my dog a present, like a little stuffed animal that looked like a doctor with a stethoscope. She always messaged me to see how they're doing. And my boyfriend became Elaine's dog walker 2 years ago. And Felicia always is very concerned about Elaine and calls her every day. And so she started messaging me every day to see if I know how Elaine is. So every morning I'd have a message from Felicia every day. And then all of a sudden I didn't. And then I messaged her, nothing. And then I called her, nothing. And I really just I really got worried, but I really didn't know who to reach out to. And when I heard from Fern that something happened, I was just hoping it was something like she maybe was in the hospital. So I really can't believe it. I'm really in shock. And she was such a nice woman. And she was such a wonderful friend to Elaine. And this whole time I've been here, oops, come here, Cosmo. This is my favorite dog of Felicia's. She loves him so much. I don't know if you could see him, but he stayed with me this whole time. He loves Felicia, and I always told her, please don't give him pizza, and she always did anyway. And I'm sure he appreciated it.
Another pizza eating dog, okay.
Oh yes, he loves the Domino's pizza Elaine would have at the meetup, which I didn't give him, but Felicia liked.
I don't think we will ever look at pizza the same again.
Okay.
We will always bring Felicia to our heart. Okay. Anyone else?
I'll say something. I will.
Anybody?
Okay.
I met Felicia was one of the first people I met in the dog world. It was 10 years ago, at least 15 years ago or so. And we formed a bond because we lived in the same neighborhood, around the same age and everything. And every time I would see her at a meetup, at a Chihuahua meetup, at a small dog meetup, we just, fell into talking, and we could talk about anything. And I really liked her. We went out to eat a couple of times. A lot of times after the meetups, we would go home together, or maybe go down to Chinatown together or whatever. And I was just so shocked to hear this. But yet, the last time I saw Felicia, it's probably before COVID. I came down from my office. I just ran out to go get something to eat. And she was walking across 34th Street. She said, oh, Fern. So, we stopped and we talked for a while. She had a bad cough. She said she was coming from the doctor, but she didn't tell me what was wrong or anything. And then she was telling me about Elaine and everything. And I said, I'll see you soon. And then with COVID, I never got to see her again. And it was really, really sad. I was so shocked to hear about this because, we're like the same, from the same neighborhood. We would talk about everything, backgrounds, education, politics, everything. And I'm really going to miss her. I really am. Really feel bad.
Thank you, Fern. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else would like to say something?
I think I'm ready to go next. Can you guys hear me or?
Yes, we hear you, Roberto. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm on the drive. We're going to a puppy play date with the Chihuahuas here. But yeah, something that I think we'll have in common is that most of us, Felicia, around 2008 and 2009, and it's something that mostly of us went to the main meetup. I think Felicia was a great person who was always there, like Ninoska mentioned before. She was always there to follow up with the conversation. Like, you can have a conversation with her right now, and 2 weeks later or a month later, if you haven't even seen her, she will come up and catch up with you. She never forget to to follow up with you. I know many of us have a lot of busy lifestyle that got us out of our paths, let's say. But I think this is a great opportunity for us to reconnect again and try to keep in touch. Like, I think in order to Felicia, we should try to do this at least once a month.
Yeah, we hear you, Roberto. I think this is a great way for you to pay homage to Felicia, going to a puppy plate.
I think Felicia was a great human being. She was always there for the community. Her and Tommy T back then, until his passing, they were always, supporting every event, every person. She was always genuine. I thought, my experience with her was great. You know what I mean? She was always a good person to me. Even when I broke up with my ex, she was there for us, like asking, making sure that we were okay, which is, kind of hard in living in New York, with so much going on. She always had the time to see and, to stop and make sure that, plus, are you okay? Are you okay? You know what I mean? And sometimes that means a lot. But, we should honor her, and I'm so happy to be part of this great community with you guys.
I think 80 has the audio on only, right?
Only, right. I can't get a picture.
Yeah, she's on her car, I think, right?
What?
Are you in your car?
No, I'm in the park, and we had an escapee just now, so I'm running all over the park trying to catch up. Yelling,
you sound good. You sound good, though.
Doggy,
so that's you, Edie, making all the ruckus.
Yeah.
Yes, we will miss Felicia.
Yes.
Very good person. Yeah.
I'm sorry, who's this?
Edie.
Oh, Edie.
Yes.
Edie, I'm sorry, because I don't know what's going on. I lose signal. Okay.
Oh, it's his phone, I think. I don't think that will go on. Don't put that on. She's just going to escape. But yes, good woman. Good times. Terrible loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is done in her.
We all agree.
Yeah, very nice. But now that I'm older, sometimes I wish I could go like that. Just sit on my couch, No nursing home, no hospice, just go.
Yes.
When you get older, you start thinking about that. But anyway, she will be lovely woman. Yeah, and she did pick up. Didn't matter how many months you were away from her. She picked up exactly what she remembered everything about you. A wonderful person.
Yeah.
But thank you for doing this. This is so nice.
Well, I guess this is more for all of us than for her.
Yes.
Our way to just pay tribute to one of our friends. There's anything else that anyone would like to share?
I'll say something.
Okay, Karen.
Yeah, sorry my lighting is so bad. I met Felicia, I don't even remember when I met her. I know it was through the Chihuahua meetups. And, it's funny. I know the word nice, everybody's been saying it, but that really is the only word, the best word you can use to describe her. She was always so relating on a personal level. She wasn't at all superficial. She connected with people. She was fully present. But she also had a funny sense of humor that I really liked. And she was very creative. And I remember we did the pilot together for Doggy Moms, and she decided she didn't want to actually do the show. And I was very impressed that she didn't want to do the show, because I don't think she wanted the drama. She didn't tell me why, but I don't think she wanted the drama, and I don't think she wanted the BS that was involved with it. I don't think she wanted to have to be mean, because they, you know, on the reality TV shows, they encourage you to be mean, and I think she was turned off by all of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just my sense of her. She didn't want to get involved, and I really, my impression, I mean, my view of her went so high because of that.
Really did the same thing.
That is a very good, a very good observation.
Yeah.
That you just made.
To point out to add up to what Karen said, something I remember about Felicia is that I remember that she never signed the contract with Doggy Mom.
Yes.
Because they record her. They really wanted her to be part of the show. And because she didn't sign, they have to cut off a lot of the meetups that they filmed during the Chihuahua Ladies. I'm not sure if it was the pageant or the breakfast at Tiffany's birthday. But I remember, I recall that information. She didn't want to involve, you know, in the extras. She just wanted to have fun with her dogs.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true.
She was not real. She wasn't very competitive either, which was really nice, because you know how cutthroat it could be sometimes. I know that sounds silly, but
it was really great. Well, when she
was so supportive of everybody.
It's Valerie. It's Valerie.
Oh, yes, you, Valerie.
Yeah, hi. I just want to say it's really nice to see all of you. I know it's been a really long time, and I have to agree with everything you've said about Felicia. She was just such a wonderful person, and you know, I was always so impressed with her creative talents. And you're right, she was just so humble about it. She didn't really want to take credit. It was just something she did. And you know, one way she had an impact on me is that she really encouraged me to get Xena to become a therapy dog. And, you know, it was with her encouragement that I pursued that. I think she also wanted to do it with Tommy T, but he was too fragile. But she helped me get through that process. And it was a really wonderful time in my life, you know, hanging around with all you ladies. And even though I didn't see her much, she did still keep in touch with me on Facebook. And yeah, it's just very sad. But I hope she's in peace.
Felicia had an impact in all of us and in so many that are sending their loves, and they were not able to be here for X or Y reason. How to close, but I'm going to read a poem that I found, and I thought that it was good for her. It says, "May you always walk in sunshine and God's around you flow. For the happiness you gave us, no one will ever know. It broke our hearts to lose you, but you did not go alone. A part of us went with you the day God called you home. The Lord be with you, and may you rest in peace, Felicia."
Amen.
Thank you all, guys. Thank you all, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ada.
I'll see you I'll see you in Chilowin.
Yeah.
Get those Chihuahua costumes ready. And Karen, you know I have a Chihuahua looking for a mama?
I don't have time. I don't have time.
But the Chihuahua will have time.
Valerie.
You know?
Yes.
Did you ever get a dog?
No, I also, like Karen, I just don't have the time to devote right now. So Sophia, I'd love one. You know, it would have been really lovely through all this to have that, but not the right.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. You know, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Of course, it's okay.
I have patience. I'm a woman with a lot of patience.
They'll be ready at some point.
I know. Yes, I know. I know I'll see you both on the other side again. Well, but thank you so much all for coming and sharing your stories and talking about Felicia. I don't think there is a greater way to remember her than seeing her friends together.
This was beautiful, Ada.
Love her through her coffee and you know, that's it. You know, that's it.
Okay.
She's
Very
now one of our angels.
Okay. Lovely.
So I'm gonna leave it at that. If anybody wants to say something, or we finito.
We finito, I think.
We good?
Thank you.
Bye.
We
Thank
finito.
you.
Okay.
Thank you,
You have a
girl.
good Sunday, guys.
Bye.
I love you.
Bye. Love you all.
Remember, have my number and
God bless.
Bye.
have my name and my number.
Yes.
I'll be there for you.